Welcome to Balanced Edge Media. I'm Kevin Hawkins. Today we're going to talk about ropes and tying knots with ropes. Before we get started, we need to talk a little bit about the terminology we're going to use when working with the rope. The part of the rope that is up the cliff or down the river or not accessible to us is called the standing end. This is important because many times the knot is tied around a standing end or other aspects of that standing end come into play when tying the knot. So that's the first part. We'll throw it over the shoulder for now. The second part is the working end. This is the end we're actually going to manipulate into the knot. Okay? This is the part where all the work is done. Another term that's really important is the bight. A bight of rope is just a rope bent in half like this. Okay? This is a bight of rope. So in future videos, when I say make a bight, you know what I'm talking about. Just fold the rope in half, okay? The last term we're going to talk about today is the round turn. The round turn is actually 540 degrees around an object like this, okay? You can see that it actually rounds all the way around and back through. This is called a round turn. Now those terminologies will be very key and helpful in the future videos you're going to be watching. When tying knots, it's really important to know 4 aspects of a knot. There is the aspect that a knot needs to be easy to tie, okay? We don't want this to be some laborious process to tie a knot. It should be easy to remember, and simple to use, okay? So that's one thing that guides us in our choices of knots, is to tie it easy. The second is that it unties easy. Of course, we don't want to have to be wrestling with these knots when we want to undo them from our rope. So the knot also needs to be easy to untie. The third aspect of a knot is it needs to be easily recognizable. Okay? When we're out in the climbing area or out on the river or doing any form of rescue, we always love to have someone else check out our knots. Knots are a problem. They can be untied, tied improperly, and so having someone check our work, be our safety or a belay, to check to make sure the knot is tied properly is always good. So a knot needs to be easily recognizable that it's tied properly. Okay? The fourth aspect of a good knot is that it retains the strength of the rope. A rope is rated for the straight pull of its strength this direction. When you put a knot in a rope, it actually weakens the overall strength of the rope. If you think with me here that the inside strands of this rope are actually not doing much work, right? The fibers on the outside are doing most of the work and taking most of this load. So in a sense, you're actually taking some of the fibers away from this rope, making this a smaller and therefore weaker rope. So when tying a knot, it's important to know which knots actually retain the highest strength rating in our ropes. So those 4 aspects are really important. So let's recap here. A knot needs to be easily tied. A knot needs to be easily untied. It needs to be easily recognized by other people for safety checks. And it needs to retain the strength of the rope. The working end is the part we actually tie the rope. The standing end is up the cliff, inaccessible. Folding the rope over is called a bend, and then looping the rope around is a round turn. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.